Flosstube, welcome back. I'm Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher, both here on YouTube and on Instagram, and this is my channel about cross stitch. So if you're just finding me for the first time, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so glad that you're back for another weekly stitchy cross stitch happy hour. Cheers. It is the 9th. It's Sunday, August 9th. I'm back to my regular Sunday, up in my regular room, but I've not hung everything back up on the walls yet, so I'll get to that. But I was using any extra little time I had up here today, and over the weekend we've had another little bit of a busy week. And weekend I was using my extra spare time today to do a couple FFOs. So I have a couple fully finished objects. For those of you that are new, an FFO is a fully finished object. So you finished the stitching and turned it into whatever final form it's going to take. So I have a couple FFOs. I have a finish and lots of fun WIPs to show you because it's Arbitrary August. So before we jump in, I did want to do a quick little bit of housekeeping. I forgot last week, I think I was just all thrown off filming on a Monday and being downstairs and the family kind of running around in the background. I totally forgot to show Stitchy mail haul. I had like one tiny piece of haul, but I had some wonderful, lovely Stitchy mail. So I'm going to show you guys that a little later. But I did need to show you one of the things first off because check out my glass for my beverage today. Ellen Reed, Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour. I got this totally unexpected little fun box in the mail from her, and she sent me a fun little Canada glass for me to enjoy my beverages from. Well, thank you so much, Ellen. I know we chatted back and forth, but I wanted to show everybody my fun Canada glass. And in honor of Ellen, I of course had to do a whiskey beverage. So today I made a cinnamon maple whiskey sour. So I got whiskey and maple syrup in here. I'm ready to become Canadian. I'm ready. I warned Ellen I might be sneaking over the border. I might have to bust my way in. This is delicious. I should have made a double. It's whiskey, lemon juice, maple syrup, and a dash of cinnamon. So good. We love all of our international friends, but our Canadian friends are I live very close to the Canadian border, so they feel like neighbors. All right, so that was the first thing I wanted to show you guys, and I'll show the rest of the fun Stitchy mail surprises towards the end. Also, thank you guys so much for your lovely comments. I read them all. I give them all a little heart. I try to reply to as many as I can. And I just really wanted to let you guys know how much I appreciate you and the community and your comments. I had asked last week about adding the join feature to the channel and what you guys thought about that. And I really appreciate everybody who took the time to let me know their thoughts. First of all, I want you to know I'll always be here every week making my regular floss tube, doing my regular giveaways no matter what. I did have quite a few people that were like, yeah, we'd love that. And quite a few people that were like, I can't support every single person I follow and subscribe to. I totally get that. I can't either. I kind of have to pick and choose. As much as I would love to be like everybody's patron and join their YouTube channels, I can't do everybody either. And so I want you to know that I love this community. I will always be here every week with my regular floss tubes and my regular giveaways. I am going to go ahead and add the join feature because I did have quite a few people that thought that could be fun, and I think it could be fun. So I'm going to start vlogging this week and get that all set up, and so look for that. Look for that join feature to be active later this week down below. So it'll pop up when I have everything all set. I think I need to make an introduction video, and that's it. And then I'll be ready to go. So look for that down below if that's something you're interested in. And I'm gonna start doing some vlogging and get some other posts ready for that as well. But I'll always be here for Cross Stitch Happy Hour every Sunday-ish. Sometimes it ends up Monday, but definitely the regular free video is not going anywhere, because I miss everybody too much if I just took the channel totally private. Not gonna do that. So, okay, I think that's it as far as housekeeping. I should have taken some notes, but I didn't this week. I've been kind of busy today, so I was like, let's just get the show on the road after dinner. Should I show the finishes and FFOs first? Let's show the FFOs. Let's for sure show the FFOs. I finally was able to get a little bit of time up here in this room where all of my kind of finishing stuff is, and I had a couple things. I mean, I've got a pile. I have a pile of stuff that needs to be finished. I'll do full-on life update maybe towards the end. It was a really fun week. I did get to go down to Acorns and Threads on Wednesday. So it was a long drive. It took me a little over 3 hours to get down there in the morning because there was a bit of a wreck on the highway, and then just 3 to get back. So it was a little over 6 hours driving round trip. Totally worth it. It was so good to be back in the shop. They're letting a very limited number of people in at a time. You have to wait your turn outside if there's already a handful of people in the shop. But it was so great to be in there and browse around and see all the new things. And while I was down there, I guess this falls under finish and not FFO, sort of FFO. While I was down there, I dropped off tingles for Jolynn. I'm so excited. I also dropped off the advent calendar, I always say calendar, the advent candle ornament set from Heartstring Samplery that I did for my parents. I dropped those off, and I dropped tingles off. I got it all done. I stayed up until like midnight Tuesday night sewing all the buttons on, but I got it all done, and I dropped that off for Jolynn. So since I don't have it anymore, but it was a finish, I'm gonna put some pictures in right here. Doesn't it look so awesome? I love it. I really love it, and I'm so excited to see what Jolynn's gonna do with it. I've seen her finishing work. It's fantastic. So I'm really excited to see what she comes up with for that piece. So it's gonna be a wall hanging of some type because it's so long and skinny. So those are kind of on their way to FFO. So that was really fun. I got to do a little shopping. And when I was down there, I met up with Anna of Stitch Roadies. So we had been chatting back and forth, and she said that she was going to be there on Wednesday, and I didn't have anywhere I needed to drive any of the girls on Wednesday. So I said, I'm gonna come down when you're down there, and we'll do lunch. And then Becca of Samplery Stitches was down in the area visiting her sister. So she and her sister came up as well, and so that's the first time I have seen anyone socially since the beginning of March. I haven't been down to Acorns and Threads since February. I was there for first Thursday in February, and then we had several weekends of dance competition, and then everything got shut down. So it did my heart good. Even with all of our masks on and social distancing, it was so good to be in the shop with them and ooh and ah over things and what are you getting? And then when we were done shopping, there's a little bar and grill next door, like right next door, that has a big outdoor seating area. So we were able to have lunch together, and that was amazing. It was so good to see them and chat with Stitchy friends, and hopefully that will sustain me now for the next several more months. I'm sure that we're in for of staying home and staying safe. So that was really fun on Wednesday. And then hopefully in a couple months, I'll have those pieces back from Jolyn to show you. When they're ready, I might sneak down there and make another trip. So you can always call the shop. They're the most wonderful, amazing shop, Acorns and Threads. I'll of course link them below, put their phone number down there. You can call them, they'll ship to you. They're incredibly wonderful, helpful staff. They're just fantastic down there. And so I always know I can call them and get anything I need, but it's always nice to go in and see all the shop models and see what's new. Everything was all rearranged. It was like a brand new shop. It was really fun. Okay, so the other things that I FFO'd were just a couple simple framing things. This one, I know I showed when I finished stitching it, but I realized I never even showed it on, I never even posted it on Instagram, so I'll have to do that. But I finally found the right size frame for it, and I got Bendy Stitchy's Personal is Political all framed up. Look how perfect that looks. I just got this off of Amazon. It's a 6x6 white frame. I'll put the link below. There wasn't any, I like to do mine with just a little bit of batting and no glass. I don't do glass on my, I mean, I might put glass on like big, you know, like when I ever finish like And a Four Screw or Quicker Geometric Puzzle or any of those like big glorious pieces I do, I might have them, I'll probably have those like professionally framed with glass and stuff. But for these smaller decorative pieces, I like to just put a little bit of batting behind them and no glass. And this frame didn't even come with glass. It came with a little piece of like thin plexiglass. And so I used some stitchery tape and taped the batting right to that little piece of plexiglass, wrapped the stitch piece around it, and then just like, I think you can even see where it's coming through the back a little bit. But it looked good in there, and so I didn't want to muck with it anymore. So there we go. So this will probably get hung up here when I hang things up because I love it. It's so beautiful. And that framing just came out, I think it came out pretty good. It's not totally centered, but not bad. Okay, so that's the first piece I FFO'd. And then the second one is arranging vegetables. And this I got quite a while ago. You know, obviously quite a while ago because I haven't been to a thrift store in probably 8 months. But I got this at our local thrift store. I think it was like $3 or $4. And I just thought, oh, I didn't even know for sure that it would fit this, but this is the piece I had in mind when I bought it. And sure enough, it fit. And so same thing, this did have glass in it. And I just put a little piece of batting right onto the glass because then I know it fits in there. And then if I ever want to take this out and use the frame for something, I mean, I'll have to get the glue residue, the stitchery tape residue off the glass, but that way the glass is still with the frame. And I know it's the exact right size. So this is by no means a professional job. I didn't even lace it. I really just shoved it in there. But it looks good, right? Right? I think it looks so good. So this is going to be hanging up down in my kitchen now that it's all done. I love it. Yay for Semi-Sane Stitchers Uno and WIP Go, because this was on my WIP Go board. Love all those groups for keeping me focused because I tend to be a little scattery and not focused. And so I love WIP Go and all the games in Semi-Sane Stitchers and even Enchanted Stitching, those tasks, you can always get things to fit. Like if you tell a good enough story in Enchanted Stitching, they'll take it. So that can help keep you focused too. So I'm going to give you one more look at arranging vegetables. I'm so pleased with myself. Isn't that sad? Like I am so pleased with myself because I shoved a couple things in frames. I still have a lot of finishing to do. I really want to get Love My Stitching done, the project bag. I don't know what I did with the bag that had the finishing instructions and my fabric in it. And I know it has everything. I know that I have everything I need to finish it except the zipper. So I was looking for the bag to see what size zipper I needed to get. I can't find it. But as soon as I find that bag, hopefully that'll get finished. And I'm going to try. I'm going to try to keep picking away at, because there's still a pile. There's a pile of stuff over there that needs to be fully finished. But hey, I'm making a start. I had another finish this week as well. I thought that I might have a frame for this. Originally, I thought I was going to do this as a stand-up flat fold. But now I think I want it framed. And so, but it's a weird size. So I'm looking at, I was chatting back and forth with the owner of Frame and Wire. I think it's called Frame and Wire on Etsy. I'll link them below. Michelle Bendy had used them. Michelle Garrett, Bendy Stitchy, had used them to frame up, to order a frame for her, for the model of Personal is Political. And it looked like a really pretty frame, and she said they were reasonably priced. So I've been chatting back and forth with that owner, who's been fantastic, and I think I'm going to order a kind of custom size frame for Suffrage Act. Like, see, I even ironed it all thinking that I might have a frame in my kind of stash that worked, but I didn't. It's just too irregular of a size. But look, Suffrage Act is all done. I mean, this is a big week. Look at this, 2 FFOs and a couple finishes. This is like a red letter week. So yeah, so I got this all done. I'm so excited to have it done before the centennial anniversary. I did change up. Oh, I don't have the pattern with me because I have it all out of the bag. On the pattern, it says vote. There's a bunch of stars, and then it says 1920. But I wanted to have both years on there since I stitched this in the centennial. So I did 1920, vote 2020, and then just put a couple little stars along the sides. So otherwise, this is all called for colors. I stitched this on a 32-ish, I think it's 32, mystery linen from Color and Cotton. I got it in a grab bag at the end of last year. I think it's white tea. That is my guess, is that it's white tea. And I stitched it 2 strands over 2 linen threads, 2 over 2 with all the called for colors. Except I think I didn't have the color for the lady's skin tone. I didn't have that called for color. It's a DMC. I can't remember what it was called for to be, but I used 3774. I was putting all the floss away, and so I took a picture so I would remember. So yeah, the lady's skin tone is 3774, but other than that, it's all as called for. And I love it. It looks so good, and I'm so happy. So this I started for the stitch along with Stitching with the Sisterlies. So that hashtag is below. It's going on till November. Our goal was to finish in November. I was pretty close, and so I decided I wanted it finished up this month for the actual centennial. But there's plenty of time to get this stitched before the election in November. So if you want to join in with the hashtag. It's SWTS, Stitching with the Sisterlies, SWTS Suffrage. I think that's it. I'll have it below. It'll be linked below. So there we go. Suffrage Act. So excited. And yeah, that was really fun. So I got that all done. And other than that, all I've been doing, oh no, not totally. With the exception of one other new start I snuck in, I've just been spinning my Arbitrary August wheel every day. So I'll show you guys what I worked on every day for my Arbitrary August spins, which I've been having so much fun with, guys. It's just such a nice break from my regular kind of like my regular calendar, monthly calendar of stitching. It's been fun just to see what the wheel's going to pick every day. I didn't even try to fit it into tasks. I'm not counting. I'm just sitting and stitching on whatever the wheel tells me to stitch, and it's been really fun. And I've gotten to stitch on some things that I haven't stitched on in a while. So on Monday, or for Monday, the wheel picked. I was so excited that this came up so early in the month because I was really hoping that it would come up. I didn't count, but I'm pretty sure I have more WIPs on that Arbitrary August wheel than there are days. So some of them I won't get to. And so I was so thrilled when this came up. Farewell to Anger came back out just for a day, but I was so excited. So this was my New Year, New Start. It's Farewell to Anger, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is just the regular size, regular amount of colors charts. It's not a mini, it's not a super size, it's not a max color, it's just the regular chart. I am stitching this on 25 Easy Count Lugana, 1/1 full cross with all the called for DMC. And there it is. Have you guys missed it as much as I did? It was hard to only stitch on this for one day and put it down. So I got 200. I also forgot how slow going this type of confetti stitching is. So I got 200 stitches in right here. So just one night, 200 stitches, but it was really good to have this back out, and I'm so excited for it to go back in the regular rotation next month in September. So there we go. Farewell to Anger. So that was Monday's spin. And then on Tuesday, put that down. Oh, and this is in a Garon tote bag. I love their bags. They have a big size. I can't remember. Is it 15 by 17? I don't know. This is their larger size, and I love it because it fits like an 11 by 11 Q snap. Like you can put a lot in there. And then this is a Garon 11. I love that they put the little tag on their grime guards too to let you know what size it is. So, and you know, match. And there's scissors on the inside. I love, love, love their bags, especially for these big projects that have, you know, a lot of stuff in them. So I'll link them below because they just started a website. Gary and Ronnie just put together their own website instead of just selling through their Facebook group, and they become a like full on online needlework store. So you can get their bags and their grime guards when they have them available there, but also all kinds of charts and threads and everything. So go check out their new website. Okay, then Tuesday, the wheel spun for me. If I can get it out. Long and Winding Road by Blackbird Designs. This is a Mania start right at the end of Mania. And yeah, I was excited to get this back out. I got the shaker box for my birthday. Yeah. For my birthday, my husband got me the shaker box in gray for this chart. It had been on my wish list for a while. So, and I am stitching this on 36 count linen in Weathered Shingle by R&R. And I'm doing a little bit of changing to the chart. But here's where I am so far. So I'm gonna stick in, because you guys haven't seen these in a while and you're only seeing one day's worth of progress. I didn't do it with Farewell to Anger. That's okay. Starting now, I will pop pictures in of what it looked like before. So this is what it looked like when I started. And here it is now. So it didn't feel like a ton of progress, but I did get the whole rest of the house done and put in the windows and the door. And you can see on the chart, the house is like stripy. I don't know if these are meant to be like columns. Like, you know what I'm talking about, columns. Like people have like white columns in the front of their house. I don't know if that's what those are supposed to be, but I thought that they were a little strange, and I wanted it to look like my house. And my house is light gray with dark gray trim and a red door. So there we go. So it looks like my house. So I'm making a few color changes just because I was pulling this from stash when I was kitting for Mania. So I'll post all the flosses I'm using. I'm using called for, except for some substitutions, and I'll put them below. I don't know that I had, I don't know if any of these are subbed out. I don't know. Oh, the Shaker White I subbed for Shabby Sheep. That was supposed to be in. Otherwise, I think that that's it. So far, I have some other things ready to go, but I'll put all the flosses below. So there we go. Long and Winding Road. That was Tuesday. Yeah, this calls for a lot. I mean, for not a very big chart, it calls for a lot of flosses. That's okay. Look how pretty they are, though. Some of them are kind of ratty, but... And oh, look! I have a pair of glasses in there, too. I don't want those to stay permanently in the bag. I'm always looking for a pair of reading glasses. I stitch with my contacts in and readers. I do have a pair of bifocals. I need to wear bifocals, but my prescription is such that they do not make bifocal contacts in how high my prescription is. I can't see anything. I can't see anything without corrective lenses. So they don't make bifocal contacts at my prescription. I do have a pair of bifocal glasses, but the power for reading is not quite enough for me for stitching at night. So I wear my contacts and readers, and I always look super sexy, and I stitch like this so I can watch the TV and then stitch and watch the TV. My husband feels like he's already in the nursing home with a little old lady. Someday that will be us, and I'm just hurrying it along. Okay, on Wednesday, the wheel was apparently in the mood for Blackbird Mania starts because it chose Blackbird, my Blackbird design. That was also a Mania start for me. And I thought it felt like pretty decent progress for not a lot of stitching time. This is on a 36 count linen in Beach Brew, which I think is also R&R. And I'm stitching it with Classic Colorworks Blackbird. Because how do you not stitch Blackbird in Blackbird? And I don't think that's what it calls for. No, it calls for espresso bean. It calls for espresso bean, but how do you not stitch it in Blackbird? I tell you. Okay, so this is what it looked like when I started. And here it is now. So I did pretty good. I got a little bit more border work done. I got these leaves done and these leaves. Did I already have the moon? I can't remember. You just saw whether or not I had the moon. I didn't have the moon because I didn't even have this. So it felt like pretty good progress. And honestly, like for as big as the chart is, it's a tiny little thing. I mean, not super tiny, but I'm already pretty good, and that's just 2 days of stitching. So I think this is going to be in my finish it sooner rather than later pile, because I don't think it's going to take that much to finish it up. I think it'll only take 3 more days. That's what I think. That might be a little ambitious, but 3 or 4. See, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, on Thursday, the wheel picked another Mania starts. I feel like it's favoring Mania starts a little bit. But then I realized the bulk of my current WIPs are Mania starts. I mean, I have some older WIPs for sure, but proportionally, it's mostly Mania starts. So this was also a Mania start this year, and it's Home of a Needleworker Squared by Little House Needleworks. And I am stitching this on a piece of Victorian motto. Where's my needle? My needle's not on my needle minder. This is a 30, oh, actually, is this Victorian motto? This is a 32 count Belfast. That's all the tag says. I know I got this off of a stash unload, and that's what I put on it, the tag, because there wasn't a tag on it. So I don't know what this is. It is a piece of tan linen that is 32 count. So here we go. So there it is. This is, I keep forgetting to show you where I got to, where I was first. See, I'm not so good with the editing. I don't normally do that. Here's where it was before I started. And here it is now. So I feel like, was this Thursday? I don't know why I didn't have that much stitching time. I think I was working on Suffrage Act and hoping to get Suffrage Act done. But this still got some good. I finished off, I had a little bit of border left to do down here. I got the needles done, started Home of a Needleworker, and then I just really wanted to do some color. I was tired of like browns and greens, so I did a length of the red, little hearts and flowers. So this is another one that I think would finish up in just a few days. So I know there's Finish It February. Is there anything towards the end of the year that's like a finish it up event? Let me know. Do people do a finish it up thing maybe in December? I don't know. I think I'm gonna need a push to finish as many things as you can in a time period event. And then that would be good. Okay, so Friday, we had yet another Mania Blackbird design start. I had four Blackbird designs that I've started in Mania. The wheel has already picked 3 of them. I'll be thrilled if it picks the 4th one too. So this one was Without a Mouse by Blackbird Designs. And here is where it was before I started on Friday. And here is where I got to. There we go. So that was pretty good. I got a little more border done, and the top of the pumpkin, the little stem, this little doodah, and started without. So this is on a piece of 32 count linen in Cauldron by Picture This Plus, and I am stitching it with the Gentle Arts, one of their new colors from Nashville, Witching Hour. And I think it looks great. I really like it. It's going to be a little bigger than I thought it was going to be, so I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with it when it's done, because I think it's going to be too big for a little pin pillow, which it shows it framed, so I don't know why I thought it was pin pillow sized. I don't know. But this was one of my unicorn charts. I had seen, I think during one of the 24 hours of cross stitch events, Jen Lee, Quirks and Stitches, was working on this, and I was like, I love that. I have to have it. So I hit the Googles and quickly realized it was out of print. But one day I was perusing Starlight Stitchery's website, and they just happened to still have it. They had a copy of it. I paid retail price. Fantastic. So sometimes Starlight Stitchery has older stuff. They have a fantastic website. They're a LNS they're like a brick and mortar. No, they were a brick and mortar in Corvallis. And I don't think they have a storefront anymore. I could be wrong. Maybe they have a new storefront. I don't know. I'll link them below. Go check out Starlight Stitchery, especially if you're in Corvallis, because they do delivery. If you live in the area, they will deliver your order to you. Love that. Okay, getting towards the end of the week. Yesterday, Saturday, the Mania start broke. The streak of Mania starts broke, and it picked Ink Circles, Dog's Declaration. I love this project. Love it, love it, love it. I got this down at Acorns and Threads, I think either October or November, December, around there. October, November, December. I got this, and I just think of it as my like Pacific Northwest friends stitch. I don't know why, but I bought it when I was down there for our first Thursday, and it was on my list. Like I always go with a specific list so I don't forget anything, and then I'll maybe pick another chart or two. But this was on my list to get this with the thread pack, the Valdani thread pack. And I get down there, and my friend Melissa had just finished it and brought her finish to show us. It was amazing. And then I was like, oh yeah, I not only need to buy that, I need to start it right now. So I did, and then it lives in my project bag that I got from Lisa Smith, the Kindred Stitcher. She sometimes makes project bags and posts them on her Instagram account, and she does these awesome little zipper pulls with buttons on them, and I just love this French General fabric. And then to top off my Northwest Friends theme, the little thread keep on there is from Daleen. I'm so grateful. One of the last little stitchy meetups I got to go to in February, other than first Thursday at Acorns and Threads, was we did a little like friend meetup that Becca Samplery Stitches had organized over on the Kitsap Peninsula. So it really wasn't like a Valentine's Day theme. It was like kind of like a stitchy Galentine's Day event. And Daleen came and she gifted us all one of her beautiful thread keeps. So I have it on there because this piece just reminds me of all of my Pacific Northwest friends. Dog's declaration. I mean, okay, it just does. I will put a picture of where it was when I started it on Saturday here. So that's where it was, not a huge start. I started this for a high tea start. I can't remember when. Here, I can tell you. It's in my Stitchy planner. I always have my Stitchy planner with me. You guys have seen it. I have a flip through video on my channel. I love it. I could not live without this. I can't remember, seriously, like hardly yesterday, guys, much less end of last year. But I can tell you when I started it because I know I started this for high tea in November. So it was November high tea start. So I must have gotten it at November first Thursday. So I must have gotten it at the first Thursday in November. And this is where I am now. It seems like, I mean, this is a huge chart. It's going to take me a while, but I felt pretty good about my progress on this yesterday. So I am stitching this on a 36 count linen in bisque. I believe it's a Lakeside linen. I got it off of Stash Unload. It's the most beautiful creamy color and I love it so much. It's a huge whack and I got it for a really good price and I'm going to need most of it for this chart. So yeah, I don't know, like, and I got this last summer off of Stash Unload before I even realized. I mean, I knew, I was like, ooh, a big piece of a nice creamy neutral linen, yes please, before I even realized like how hard sometimes Lakeside linen is to come across. Lucky girl. Okay, so there we go. So you can see from the before picture I did this crown, acorn, the eye. I had a little bit of thread left, so I started the F. Did this motif, this little acorn, and did some of the little, I call these squirrel flowers. I think that's a leaf, but tell me it doesn't look like a squirrel tail. I think that's intentional, that it looks like a squirrel tail because Tracy is a genius. And then some little yellow flowers too. So there we go. That's Dog's Declaration. And the next time I pick this up, I'm going to put in my very first dog. I'm going to do this one right here. But I'm going to make him black to look like Happy and have one of his ears sticking up and one of his ears flopped over because that's how our dog Happy always looks. He's so cute with his little one ear. I'm going to stick a picture right here. Isn't he adorable? He's so stinking cute. So I'm going to make him black with one ear up and one ear down to be our little Happy boy. So Dog's Declaration. Love that piece. I'm already starting to think about September. You guys, is that super weird? Like, I'm a week, 2 weeks. Are we even 2 weeks in? A week and a half into August. Hold on, I'm gonna turn my volume off so you don't hear the notifications. There we go. Yeah, we're like a week and a half into August. And 9 days into August, I'm already planning September because it's gonna be Sampler September. I'm going to start a brand new sampler. Kind of already started kitting that up. Need to do a floss toss. And I think I'm going to focus on all my samplers. We'll see how, and I don't know which pieces all really truly constitute a sampler. I mean, I don't have any reproduction samplers in my WIPs. I'm not doing any true reproduction samplers, but like that's a modern sampler. And I have a few other like modern samplers going that I think I'm going to pick maybe one a week to focus on and do, you know, work on every day. And as well as have a new start at the beginning of September of samplers. So weirdly segued into plans there. All right, so that was it for Arbitrary August. I did have one more new start. Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher, one of my absolute favorite people and favorite floss tubers. I will link her below. She wanted to start this little hands-on design Choose Happy chart, and it was their contribution. It was Kathy's contribution to the Be Well and Stitch hashtag. It's a freebie, and it was one of my favorites. It was, I think this might have even been one of the very first ones I saw and printed out. And then the theme that I ended up going with, I never stitched it, but I loved it. And so she said she was starting this on Monday because she was going back to teaching, going back to work at her school on Monday. And this was going to be kind of her mantra and her mindset. And she wanted everybody to stitch along with her. And so it's hashtag Choose Happy Sal. And I was like, yeah, Annie's doing it. I love that chart. I'm in. So I just pulled stuff from my stash and I ended up deciding that it just needed to be the brightest, happiest thing ever. So I picked this bright light blue fabric. It is Mystic Fabrics. It's a 32 count linen from Mystic Fabrics in Big Sky. And it's showing a little brighter there because it's getting dark out and my ring light's kind of blowing things out. And it's up against that background. It's a little lighter, but it is a happy blue. And then I started pulling the called for colors. I happened to have, and I knew I wouldn't have all of them. I only had 2. But the one that I did have that I was like, yep, love that, is Weeks Dye Works Capri. So this is called for. This is a called for color, Weeks Dye Works Capri, which I love. And so then I just played off of that. So I'm going to do this. I'm not going to stitch the Be Well. Since I'm not kind of doing this as a Be Well and Stitch, I'm just going to fill that in as grass. And it's just going to say Choose Happy with the hill of happy little flowers. So I needed 2 greens. So I went with Lucky. And then just wanted a little lighter green for the stems. This is Color and Cotton Caramel Apple. So that'll be the stems, but this will be the hill of grass. And then the outside of the flowers are going to be this Cherries Jubilee pink. The inside is the Capri. And then there's some little like yellow, like kind of stamen type dots, and that's going to be Color and Cotton Bumblebee. And then as charted, the words are like a dark gray. And so I was looking at different grays and different neutral browns to do. Maybe it's a brown. What does it call for? Flatfish. Weeks Dye Works Flatfish DMC 610. I think it's like a brownish gray. So I was looking at some browns and some grays, and then I was like, nope. I'm going to keep going with bright and happy colors. And since this is Annie's Stitch Along, I picked one of her favorite Color and Cotton colors, Color and Cotton Dahlia. Awesome is that color. I mean, look at this. Could this, I mean, if you're going to talk Choose Happy, this is Choose Happy, folks. That is Choose Happy. So I started it, and this is where I am so far. So there we go. So there's Choose Happy and the Dahlia and the flowers in Cherry Jubilee. And this I think I'll stitch up pretty quick. So I'm gonna work on that some more this week, and I might even just finish it up. I mean, look, did I need to pick this huge piece of fabric? Nope. But, oh, there we go. That's the color right there. There it is. How good does that look? I think that's just gonna have to be like a happy little pin pillow, or I don't know what. So that was all the whips and starts and finishes and FFOs. Whew. I'm surprised I got that much done, guys. Now that I look at it, that seems like a lot because we had a pretty busy week. The youngest got to go down to the dance studio a little bit for some classes. I went to Acorns and Threads on Wednesday. Saturday, we made a final decision on couch and chair for our family room. Since we're just sitting and watching movies and TV every night, we decided our serious 10-year-old, like very broken couch needed to be replaced. So that's on order. Gonna take a while to get here, but that's done. And then, oh, I do have one more work in progress to show you, but it's not a cross stitch one. It's my knitting. Because today I did a bunch of text banking in Texas. I was texting into Texas today. It was really fun. I had a great time. But sometimes there's a little lull in between, like when you start all the conversations and you're waiting for people to reply, there can sometimes be a little bit of a lull. So I was knitting on my Empower People bandana because I gotta get this done so that I can wear it when I'm doing things like phone banking and text banking. This is a terrible black and white color, but it's by Casapinka. It's a freebie because it's a craftivism project, and I will link all the information below about the Empower People movement that has a link to this pattern. So this is my very first knitting project. For those of you who are new here, I am not a knitter. I'm learning to knit just for the sake of doing this project. But I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I think somewhere I forgot to do an increase, and then somewhere else I had what I think was a yarn over, but I noticed it like in that row. I need to learn how to tink back, how to kind of unknit and go back and fix a mistake. But because I noticed it, when I went back the other direction, I picked that loop up with the one next to it so that it didn't leave a hole. Does that make sense? I'm pretty sure that's what I did. It looks a little, let's see if I can find it. I think it's right here. So can you guys see that? So I think I had a yarn over, but then I picked it up so that there wasn't a hole. But you're not going to notice it when I'm wearing it. And look how much bigger it is, guys. I wish I had stitch markers so we could see how far I got from last time. And here's the yarn over that I didn't catch, but I'll fix when it's all done. It's fine. So, but look, I mean, it's getting, the pattern says, and this is, the yarn is from Three Fates yarns. I think I'll link them below in the colorway Mosey. It's a DK weight and it's beautiful. It's so gorgeous. I love this color. I'm not normally a purple person, but oh my gosh, this is amazing. Okay, so let's read the pattern, shall we? Well, it's free. It's fine. So it says, repeat the rows until neckline edge. Oh, it says neckline edge. Okay, see, I just need to read it. So until this edge measures approximately 18 inches. But then it says 20, 22, 24, 26. So I'm imagine it just has to do with how much you want it to drape. Is that it? Because then when it's long enough, then you quit increasing and you do another little edge and sew it up around. So does anybody have any idea how long I want that to be? I think I want it to hang a little longer than shorter because I'm kind of a big girl. So something short would just look like it's strangling me. But I'm getting pretty, that looks pretty good. That's probably what? Let's see. 8, I'm gonna say that's maybe 12 inches already. Can that be right? I don't know. But there we go. I don't know why the camera cut me off. I deleted some things. Maybe it decided I was just done, or maybe I ran out of space. Who knows? We'll see how much longer it'll give me. But that's it. I'm a knitter now. That's what it comes down to. I'm a knitter now. I may or may not, I did purchase a yarn advent calendar. And I will probably have another knitting project after this. So be prepared to see occasionally knitting. Okay, plans. Plans for this week are, in the next 2 days, I have to stitch on Penny Autumn for Semi-Sane Alphabet Soup. So Penny Autumn's gonna get some work in the next 2 days. I'm going to work on Choose Happy, hopefully finish that up because it's pretty quick. And spin Arbitrary August wheel every day. That's it as far as my plans, really. And start to figure out September a little bit. I love to plan. I love to plan almost as much as I love to stitch. So that's pretty much it for plans. Haul. Because I actually have some this week. First, I have some Stitchy kindness, some happy Stitchy mail that I got. You've already seen the glass from Ellen. I also got for my friend Diana at Is Kismet. I'll link her below. She's amazing. If you're not following her on Instagram and Flosstube, you should. She's just a phenomenal person and I adore her. She has stitched this up. It's kind of a little round robin-y, past the stash little chart. And she sent it to me and I'm gonna stitch it up super quick and send it off to another stitcher. So this has been put on my Arbitrary August wheel as a start. I haven't kitted it yet. But I will if it gets spun, and if it doesn't, probably after Choose Happy, I'll just start it anyway. And it's Fancy Blacket and the Butter Churn. I love this chart. Look at that. She's a witch churning butter. I love when like you see, even on like Harry Potter, right? When you see wizards and witches doing common things that they could absolutely just use magic to do, right? She's churning butter. She's making herself a little butter. It's fall. It's summer. Look at those big flowers. She's just making herself some butter. Love it. Thank you, Diana. I'm so excited to stitch that up. So that came. And then the last little piece of Stitchy kindness I had came, and this I had no idea was coming, and it blew my mind. I got a package from Love You More Studio Co. And they do the fantabulous book sleeves, and it had a book sleeve in it. And I was like, I didn't order a book sleeve. And then I saw the little note and yep, I was low on space. Hopefully I fixed it now. This is going to be kind of a choppy video because I'm going to have to piece it all together. Sorry, guys. Where was I? My wonderful, fantastic friend, Annie Joyfield Stitcher, had been shopping on Love You More Studio Co. for a few sleeves, saw this one and said she knew it had to come and live at my house. Look guys, it's Friends. I think it's called I'll Be There For You, but it's got the fountain and the sofa, lobster. How amazing is this sleeve? So of course, you guys know I had to put Choose Happy in there. So it's already in use. It's already in use. Thank you so much, Annie. I love it, love it, love it, love it. See, guys, these friendships we form in the Stitchy community, they're real. They're real, they're deep. Love you guys. So fun. When I'm done with this, my friend's piece is kind of big, so I don't know that it's going to go in this, but I will always definitely keep a special project in my friend's sleeve. So that was all my Stitchy Happy Mail. Otherwise, I had 2 orders come in and my stuff from Acorns. So first I'll show you, I made one small order with a Etsy shop called Cross I Bear, but it's spelled Cross I, just the single letter I, Bear, B-A-R-E. I'll link them below. But I was looking for a very particular pattern and they were the only ones that had it. I don't know why it didn't occur to me to call and see if Acorns had it. It's a little bit older pattern, 2012, so I just kind of figured that they wouldn't. Of course they did when I went down there. Lesson learned, call Acorns. But great service at Cross I Bear, and this is the pattern that I bought. It's Ink Circles Quaker Genetics. So Frozen Crafter contacted me and said, hey, you mentioned that you like genetics, because I was talking about how I studied genetics and cell and molecular biology in college. She's like, have you seen this chart? I was like, I have not seen that chart. How have I not seen it? I need it. And she said, let's do it as a sal. Yep, you know me, I'll start along anything. Of course, but look. You guys see, it's hard to see. It's really light over here. But this is a Punnett square with Quaker motifs. I'm telling you, Tracy is a genius. Yes, 2012. Tracy Horner is a genius. This is just amazing. I love it. So a Punnett square, for those of you who are not like hardcore science geeks like I am, it shows the like dominant and recessive traits in subsequent generations. So this is like what Mendel did with peas, with like the wrinkly and the smooth peas. But this is more fun because it's Quaker motifs. So you can see like AB, that's dominant. Both genes are dominant. Here it's a dominant A and a recessive B. And then if you cross that with the different variations of dominant and recessive genes, then what you would get. I love it so much. So this is getting started. We're starting this the Tuesday after Labor Day because that's typically when our school starts. So back to school, science. We're taking the Stitching to Science class. Love it. Super excited to start that. Okay. The other order I got in was, oh, hold on. Because I have some of them on a ring. I had placed an order, and this was seriously indulgent, guys. Not gonna lie. I'm so glad I did. I placed an order with Raquel at Mrs. Sadis, like back in the middle of July. And she had told me, oh, they're gonna take a while to get there. It can be 6 weeks. And I was like, no problem. I'm not in any big hurry, but I feel like they came in relatively good time. I mean, maybe just because I wasn't expecting them, but I ordered, she had a listing at the time for a pack of like 10 single colors. So what I did, the Tempting Tangles Enjoy the Sunshine Stitch Along, that is starting in this month, I think on like the 20th, is all charted in Dinky Dye silks. And I thought, I have never ordered for Mrs. Sadis. I think I'm gonna go get some of her silks. So I did. Oh, why is my camera freaking out? Hold on. I don't know if that is actually recording that way, if it just looked like that. I'm having technical difficulties today. Anyway, so I bought some silks for that stitch along, and this is what I came up with. And she sent me a lovely needle minder too. So that's gonna go on that stitch along as well. Look at the cute little ladybug. So she sent that as a little freebie. So I still need a yellow. I thought this was gonna be yellow, and it isn't. Where's that piece of white paper? But I think it's gonna work great. I hadn't picked one for, there's like a pumpkin spice that's called for, and I think that this like kind of oranges is gonna be perfect. So there's 8 colors, 2, 4, 6, 7 called for. So I still need to get a yellow, like a bright yellow, but those are gonna be my colors for the Tempting Tangle Stitch Along. And then I had picked up this, I wasn't sure which blue would be best, so I got both of those, and I picked 3 greens, figuring I would use 2 of them. And now in this light, this one looks better for the darker. Maybe I haven't totally decided yet. What do you guys think? Although, I know this is going to be the lighter green. Which one should be the darker? I thought this was more in the same color family. What do you think? A, B, A, B. Maybe I'll put it up as an Instagram poll too with the fabric. So, and then this one I picked just because I thought it was pretty. I think it's called Bordeaux. And then this one I got because I thought it might be a contender for pandemic. And this is, everything's showing up super bright because it's gotten dark out. It's not that like electric blue, but it is a bright blue. And this is called Darling Blue. Can you guys see the variegation? There you can. It's so good. So I did download Pandemic when it was free. I think I've decided it's gonna be my New Year's Eve, New Year's Day start. Like that's gonna be my New Year's start. Because I'm thinking Pandemic started in 2020. Hopefully we will defeat this thing in 2021. So it would be good to kind of start it as a bridge of that year. So I have like grand long dog plans someday. Someday I'm going to stitch Death by Cross Stitch in a dark blackish dark gray, like a variegated blackish dark gray with hints of red. And then I'm going to stitch Life After Death in green. So Pandemic to me just felt like it should be in blue, but I want to do the animals in a contrasting color. So when this came, I loved it, decided this is going to be the color. So I went back, ordered another yellow, another possibility for the yellow, as well as a full hank of the Darling Blue, and a few of her black, because her black isn't like black. It's like a dark charcoal gray, like a really dark gray, but it's not like anchor black. And so I think that's what I'm going to use for the animals. So I'm so excited. So aren't they so pretty? And really, guys, no joke, they smell so nice. I love them. So these are my silks from Mrs. Sadis. However, guys, I'm still in the black with the D-stash. Everything, I'm still like $22 above water. So I'm pretty pleased with myself, but I can't go crazy because I don't have that much more to D-stash. Okay, so all I have left is my haul from Acorns, which I didn't do too crazy. I didn't go too crazy at Acorns. And the membership coupon this month, which you got to draw a poker chip, and depending on the color, that was your discount, and I got a 30% discount. So everything was 30% off. So I'll show you what I got. I did get a little gift chart for somebody, so I'm not gonna show that. I could not go, like this was top of my list to get, was the new Beth Twist, What a Time to Be Alive. And this is exclusive to Acorns and Threads. It's the only place you can get it, but look at that. It says, What a Time to Be Alive. And I think there's an entire like alphabet in here. So you can chart something different if you want. I love that. That's genius. I'm going to stitch it in one of the Stitch Me silks I have, but had to have that. So if you want this chart, you got to get it at Acorns. Phone number's below in the description box. I also picked up, after finishing arranging vegetables, I knew I totally wanted to do arranging the KitchenAids. So I picked that up. The other half of the linen that I did arranging vegetables, I popped in there. And then I also bought 2 of the main color that's called for cast iron skillet, because that seems like you should use cast iron skillet on arranging the KitchenAids. The rest of these colors I'll probably pull from stash, like Color and Cotton or just something I have for the other colors, but I felt like cast iron skillet I needed. So that's all ready to go. I also got cherry bark and espresso bean for Quaker Genetics. The little things in between, I think is Otter Creek, and this is buttermilk, but I'm just gonna pull something that I like from my stash. So, but the main colors for the motifs. So I got that. That's all kitted up. Needles. I was getting very low on needles, and they sell them 10. Little baggies of 10. So I got 26 and 28s. Always need more needles. And needles don't count against your Stitch from Stash budget. Hot tip. I picked up, I have 2 Karen water lilies, now 1, left to get for Tree of Hope. So there's that. Is this for Tree of Hope? Or is this for Touching the Autumn Sky? It's for one of my Mirabilias. That's all kitted up. Oh, and September plans. I am starting Touching the Autumn Sky on Autumn Solstice, which is September 22nd. It is my very first Mirabilia. Alicia of Resist Stitch is also starting her first Mirabilia with me together. So we're gonna do a Sal stitch along, a Mirabilia stitch along starting September 22nd. So if you've never stitched one but have always wanted to, get kidding. It doesn't have to be your first one if you just have a Mirabilia you want to start. I don't know what the hashtags are going to be. There'll probably be a couple, because I think we probably will do a hashtag my first Mira Sal, but we'll come up with another one. So even if it's not your first, even if you are not a Mirabilia virgin like me and Alicia, you can play along. This is for one of them. I have 2 left to get of the Karen water lilies, and they had one of them at Acorn, so I got that. And then I got some flosses that I need for the sampler. I think that these are called for, but I need to do floss toss. So these are some of the called for flosses for the sampler. I'm going to start for sampler September, and you'll see that later this month when I really figure out what I'm doing. And then I always seem to buy one crazy off the wall thing when I'm at Acorns that just jumps into my basket and won't let me leave without purchasing it. And this time it was Manor at Quaker Hill by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. I mean, I think this was new at Nashville. Look how amazing that is. I can't with that. It's so gorgeous. The reason it gave me pause is, see this? It's like a little half-size chart, right? Yeah, this thing is 327 by 183. She's huge. I need another huge project, like I need a hole in my head. I have no plans to start this anytime soon, but that border, I mean, come on. Come on. That border and all the flowers in the sky and the little pond with swans. I have to stitch it someday, so it came home with me. So that's it. That's all of haul. That's everything I have, guys, except for giveaway. So last week, I was giving away this little scissor pocket. I'm looking for my phone. There it is. It's buried under the haul now. So I was giving away this little scissor pocket, and I told you to let me know that you wanted to stitch the scissor. And I ran the random number generator, and the winner is Amy Seneva. Is that gonna focus? Amy Seneva. You win! Yay! So just make sure you filled out the Google form, linked at the very top of the description box, and I will get that mailed out to you. And thank you so much to everybody who has already filled that out. That's gonna make it so much easier for me to just quickly get things shipped out. So if you ever want to shop my D-stash or enter for any of my giveaways, just fill out that Google form below. I'll probably also, randomly. I love to just randomly send out stuff too. So pop your information in there and maybe you'll get a goodie for me, or you might win like Amy did. So yay. So Amy, if you haven't filled out that Google form, make sure you do, and I will get that out in the mail to you. Okay, what's this week's? I'm still just like randomly picking stuff. There's no theme. Arbitrary August. I came across this that I know I got in a lot of things that I bought off of Facebook Marketplace, and it's so adorable, but I will never stitch it. It's by Tiny Modernist. It's this little zoo train cross stitch pattern, and they have it, I think this is as like a burst sampler. But it's just, even if you didn't put that on there and just did the little train, so cute. I think it's a little older. When does it say? I thought I saw a copyright on here somewhere. 2013, so not that old, but by Tiny Modernist. So if you want this, just let me know. I want to stitch the train. So tell me you want to stitch the train, and you will be in the running to get this next week. I will pull a winner on Sunday when I record again. That's it, guys. I have no idea how long this is. Pretty long, I think. And I gotta edit, and it's all chopped up. So thanks for bearing with me with technical difficulties. Think I would learn to check how much memory I have before I start recording, but apparently not. So hope you guys are having a good week. Hope you have a great week coming up, and I will see you back here next Sunday for another Flosstube cross stitch happy hour. Cheers.